Monday morning. Yes, a beautiful, beautiful Monday morning here on the Smooth Breakfast, Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life, love sports as well, because that is where we're heading into right now. The wonderful world of sporting action. My name is Ayokunmi Kikiriako. And it has been a weekend full of all sorts of ups, downs, left, right, bass moves here and there. And we're here to unpack every single bit of it for you. From football to tennis, we've got it right here. And when I say we, you know that I'm not in the studio alone. Never, ever, ever, because I have the one and only giantess of sports herself, Tega Supreme, Her Royal Highness. Tega, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ayokomi. Oh my goodness. This weekend has started to deliver already. And the
Mm,
season, at least in England, will start next weekend. But first of all, let's talk about the guy that the the leadership driver on the NASCAR circuit. So he won his race, and this guy decided to celebrate. So you know how in NASCAR they come out through the side of that their window for
yeah.
the celebration and get on top of the car and celebrate. So he was
Mm,
trying to do that. His leg now caught in the net in the window, and he fell and fractured his collarbone.
mm,
Celebration ended. I was like,
mm.
why don't you just celebrate like normal people? Come out of the car and put your two hands in the air and go away. What's with all this drama of climbing cars? Are you are
But I
you a
mean,
performer at the
can't
circuit?
you come out of the car then climb on the car?
Look, I don't even want anybody to be climbing anything at this point in time. Just come out of the car, be going to your house. It's not like F1. You know, F1 they kind of enter through the roof.
Yeah.
So when they come out, they have to come out and stand on the car. There's no. This one is a full car, full car. Why are you standing on top of your car? What's happening there? Anyways, so that celebration, that celebration ended very quickly.
A
And it
fractured
ended in
celebration.
Yes, a fractured celebration, and it ended in a hospital. Speaking about celebrations, the people that celebrated winning in Canada, Montreal, Canada, cannot make it to the Cincinnati Masters in the USA because number one, Victoria Mboko said she injured her wrist
Mm,
because in the she injured her wrist in the semi-final against Ribakina because in the third set they had to tie up the hand, and then she played the final with a bandage. So she's saying that, according to doctor's report, she needs to rest it. So she's missing since Cincinnati Open, despite the fact that she's won Montreal, and that would have given her more points in the rankings for the US Open. But Naomi Osaka said her schedules clashed. Now I'm wondering which
oh, really?
schedule exactly. Which schedule clash? Your schedule clashed with what? Are you not a tennis player? What was your schedule clashing with? But then again, it's Naomi Osaka at this point in time. If she doesn't have one or two things going on in the background, then she couldn't have been Naomi Osaka. So speaking of celebrations, it has affected too many people this weekend. All right, and talking about celebrations, we'll talk about the Community Shield today. We'll talk about the Cincinnati Masters today. We'll also maybe touch on the La Liga because Real Madrid may not have one or two players to start off the season with. All of that and more inside the locker room this morning. But before we do any talking, Ayokumi, tell us, how can we be a part of the locker room?
I thought you'd never ask. All right, to be part of the locker room this morning, as always. And hey, you know we always look forward to hearing from you. You can join us on WhatsApp and you can join us on YouTube as well. Now, the WhatsApp number, it's a new one for those who don't have it. It's 0911 999 0981. 0911 999 And the YouTube platform, you can find us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. As I always say, grab that front row seat to all the action in the locker room. Let's begin this journey into the sporting world. Talking about tennis, where Iga Swiatek received a direct entry into the Cincinnati round of 16 following a Marta Kostyuk retirement, while Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula won their third round matches in straight sets.
Yes, so huge deal. Iga Swiatek had already played Potapova. So she's played one match and she was able to test how the American courts are doing. It's not exactly the US Open speed or pace, but it's another thing to be able to test the hard courts and test how the courts are doing in the US. So she has that Potapova match under her belt. However, she was supposed to face Mata Kostyuk in the next match. And Mata Kostyuk is like, I don't feel too good, so she's not going through. And so now Iga Swiatek has a walkover.
Mm.
Also, some Yelena Ostapenko, Iga Swiatek's biggest nemesis, also had a walkover. So she's through to the next round. She's waiting for Iga Swiatek in front. But Coco Gauff yesterday and Jessica Pegula played their matches, and I always, when I'm watching people, I'm just thinking of the opposition they face if they play like this, and that Coco Gauff's double fault, at this point in time, is a national crisis. Sorry, it's a pandemic. Pandemic is one
Uh-uh.
that goes global, Abby.
Yes.
It
Uh-uh.
is a it's, don't like it's as if the more she plays, the worse she gets.
Which is crazy for a top ranked player.
It's the most ridiculous thing. World number two, and you can't serve your way out of trouble. So people are talking about it a lot, but the truth of the matter is, the only time you can really take time to work on something as technical as a serve is during the off season. So she has to
Right.
manage this struggle all the way through the US Open to the off season. And here's what's tricky about the tennis court, the tennis season. There's no real off season.
There's always one tour or something happening.
Exactly, because after the WTA finals, which she's going to play, being the number two ranked player in the world, I don't think she's going to fall that back, that she will not be able to play in the final eight. That happens in December. The Mubadala Open in Abu Dhabi starts at the end of December into the first week of January, and from then on to the Australian Open. So they really don't have any break per se, which is why when they're struggling about the calendar and schedule, and then people come and start shouting that, oh, but they're paying you more. It's ridiculous. You can't really pay people for time. Oh. You can't. You can't. Time is priceless, and so
Yes, indeed.
I think that's where the struggle with her is. But she was able to make it through her first round. Let's see how she carries through um, to the next rounds.
Let's see how she carries through to the next round. Okay, that is on the women's side, the Wild Wild West. Let's see what's going on the men's side of things in Cincinnati, where Carlos Alcaraz had to fight his way out of a second set slump on Sunday to escape with a 6-1 to 5-6-3 victory over Damir Zumher in his opening match at the ATP Cincinnati Open. Tega, I saw your tweet about Alcaraz and how erratic he is.
Oh no, that's it. I always say it when I'm watching the men's side. I'm looking at Alcaraz and Sinner, and Sinner is reliable. So you can, if you were in trouble, you say, yeah, and Yannick, somebody had to play tennis to get you out of trouble. Please pick Yannick Sinner. He's reliable. The people that he's supposed to beat, he will beat them well and
Mm,
very quickly too. His first round match, 6-1, 6-1, 59 minutes. He did not waste time on the court. He did not even break it. After he finished that, he went to the next court to do warm up. That's how little time he spent playing the match itself. Now, Carlos Alcaraz, on the other hand, has always struggled against Zuma because Zuma likes to run a little bit, and Carlos Alcaraz doesn't necessarily have strategies as much as he plays instinctively. So it is very entertaining, and there'll be many jaw-dropping moments, and there'll be many amazing shots he'll make. But it's
right.
also a conundrum because he's frustratingly good and frustratingly inconsistent. So in fact, before the match, somebody had already said it. You see that Yannick Sinner has finished his match in 59 minutes. Carlos Alcaraz will now win the first set. The person tweeted that Carlos Alcaraz will win the first set convincingly, and then lose the second set, and then fight in the third set, just so that we can spend 3 hours watching him. That's what the person tweeted, and everybody in the comment section was like, "Yes, this is what he does to us all the time, like clockwork." He won the
Oh
first
my
set
goodness.
6-1, dropped the second set 6-2, and then struggled through the third. And then he came out and said, he's a very good player. No, Oga, we were watching the match. We saw your shot selection. some of it were unnecessary. Because there are sometimes you need to go for the pragmatic. This guy would like to go for the, entertainment, the flashy shots.
Instead
And
of just
that's
being
how he
effective.
just being effective. But he wants to entertain. He wants to see if he can somersault and kick and hit a twinner. Oh God, we don't. That's not what we paid for. We paid for you to win so that we can see you in the final against Yannick Sinner. That's what we paid for. So yeah, he struggled through, but he made it through. The person that didn't make it through on the men's side, Daniel Medvedev, his woes continues.
Ah,
When he started with struggling in the Australian Open, people thought he would pick up by maybe grass season, but he was out in the first round in straight sets. So things are getting worse for him.
Medvedev just cannot catch a break. Poor fellow. Poor fellow. Anyways, let's leave the world of tennis and jump into the world of football. And let's talk about the curtain raiser to the Premier League, where Crystal Palace started the new season with a suddenly familiar feeling, basking in trophy glory as triumphant underdogs as Wembley. They beat Liverpool 3-2 on penalties after a 2-2 draw in regulation time.
My goodness. First of all, I must say that if people were asking why I'm not in the studio, I think that Salah ball hit me in the head. So I'm still a little dazed from that penalty. It hit me right in the middle of my forehead. Because what was that for a penalty kick? And he walked up confidently, as per captain of the team, experienced player, star of the show, put the ball there, and everybody was like, okay, we are going to, our star man is going to start off this penalty shootout with a great kick. A great kick it was. Straight out of the stadium.
Great for all the
But
wrong reasons.
for all the wrong reasons. But first, let's go back to the match itself, and you can see some beautiful parts about the Liverpool new signings. Ekitike was fantastic, and I like the kind of person that he is. He's not afraid to make shots, and he also enjoys playing the game. Not just being effective, but playing the game. You could see all the flicks he was trying and passing the ball. There was one particular shot I thought he should have taken, but he squared it instead, and they didn't score that goal. But you can tell he enjoys playing the game, and he will also score some goals. So that's good on their side. Florian Wirtz is actually fantastic. I saw him playing very smoothly, but with the physicality in the Premiership, I'm not sure that he's going to be playing 90 minutes for the first few months.
Mm.
Because by the 60th minute, he looked like he was running on empty. And you can say it's the start of the season, but you also have to remember that this is a new league
Yeah.
with a different kind of performance requirement. And then he's not a sturdy player. So it's something he's going to have to build as he grows in the Premier League. So there's some brilliancies here and there. But unfortunately for them, Crystal Palace is still riding on some beautiful football that they're playing. It's effective. They kept, especially in the second half, they just kept running at Liverpool. In fact, in the second half, they completely overtook that midfield. So, if you're looking at Liverpool defending their title, it's going to be really tricky. But for Crystal Palace, this was a brilliant show. At this point in time, I don't think Glasner will be looking to win the Premiership. As long as he can just be winning a trophy every season,
I
he'll be okay.
mean, bare minimum stuff. Just get one, keep it moving.
Get one and keep it moving. And then you know what? Then Arsenal fans now want a Berechese to come. He just won a trophy. He won the FA Cup last season. And then he won the Community Shield. What have you won recently?
Mm.
Because
I
moving
mean,
to Arsenal, because second position is not really an upgrade. Trophies are. You can't hang position on your neck and walk around town, but you can hang a gold medal.
goodness gracious. Let's take our first break of the morning. When we come back in, we will be talking about Arne Slot and Liverpool. Yeah, he's seeking a balance for the Liverpool defense ahead of the upcoming season. Keep it tuned. This is the Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. Be back in a moment.
And you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Of all the people that I thought would miss a penalty, I didn't think it would be Salah. I mean, Mr. Reliable from the spot. I don't know, man.
It was the way he bounced the ball. The confidence was oozing. Only to be confident to play that kind of nonsense. I've never seen that kind of confident rubbish in my life. It, he bounced. It was like, people should watch how penalties are taken. I mean, I was confident because, he's one of their designated penalty takers. In fact, he's the
Yeah.
first in line. I was like, okay, this is a bold start. I mean, he didn't do much during the match, but if he can score his penalty to lead his team to victory, Ashe, he, dis- he disappointed his dada. Yeah, anyway, he's done. He's really on his way out. By now, Saudi clubs will start shopping him because I think next season he's definitely leaving.
Yeah, I mean, after the whole contract saga back and front,
Yeah, I think he's leaving next season. They'll cash out on him so that they know that at least they've made money.
But then, would they be able to cash out as much as they probably would have if they let him go this summer?
But it's better for them to cash out at him. It's a win-win situation for Liverpool because he's still going to play because he has something to prove and he still has his expertise and his skills. So he's still going to give them results. And then when they're finished using straw to suck out all his energy, they'll still sell him for good money. So either way, Liverpool is winning. He's the one that his pension plan money has dwindled by staying in England for one more year.
True.
So
That Saudi money would have hit like something else.
I'm telling you, it's really hard. But hey, what can we say?
Why didn't I know how to play ball properly? But take it seriously, Seth.
My brother, I'm looking for a career in football administration. There's money there. Or real oil money.
Get dressed.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
In 2 minutes, you can also buy your motor insurance with Leadway Assurance.
Oh.
No stress, just 2 minutes and you are set.
Oh.
Visit auto.leadway.com today. Leadway Assurance, ensuring happiness since 1970.
You're laughing at the messages, Abby.
My goodness. Right, my son says, Tega, you just can't help but slate Arsenal. What's your problem, Sha?
But I don't know. Is it, you can't talk about temperatures and not talk about Arsenal now.
All right, welcome back into the locker room this Monday morning here on the Smooth Breakfast, Smooth 98.1. We love music, we love life, and we love sports as well. Ayokunmi Kikirekon right here with you. Also with me is the one and only Tega Supreme. We are doing justice to what's been going on in the sporting world over the weekend. So much to actually talk about, and you can join us in the conversation. So please, we look forward to hearing from you on WhatsApp and on YouTube. WhatsApp 0911 0981 0911 990 Also, join us on YouTube. You can find us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Those are the ways you can be a part of the discussion this morning. All right, as I said before we went on that quick breather, Arne Slot, Liverpool boss, said his side are conceding too often if they are to defend the Premier League title after losing the Community Shield on penalties to Crystal Palace on Sunday.
Oh, he's right about that. And it starts with his captain, which is shocking because Virgil van Dijk has, from last season, I think, he's looked a pace off. He's just looked a step behind all the way. So think about it. The penalty that Crystal Palace got, he was reaching when he could have been ahead of the player to block off. But he now had to reach out his foot, and then he's complaining that I touched a little of the ball. No, you gave what you did was you gave the referee a call to make, and he made the call. Yeah. and he made the call penalty because at the end of the day he stomped on Sar's foot. So it starts with Virgil van Dijk's positioning, his leadership. He just looks a little bit off, and that split second in defense is a huge problem, especially when you're supposed to be the leader, because everybody else is just following your lead.
Mm.
And so if you're a pace off, it means that the team is a pace off, defensively at least. And so you can't shout your way into competence. It's that simple. So yes, defensively they needed to do something. I wondered though why they sold Kwanzaa, seeing as it's a long season. There are several competitions. There's the FA Cup, um,
The
there's the
Champions League.
Carabao Cup, there's the Champions League, and then there's the Premiership with 38 games. It's a whole 9 months of drama, and you want to move light defensively. So it's something he should have thought of before they sold, Kwanzaa. And if they're selling him, who are they replacing with? So those are the questions I think ultimately they need to answer by themselves. But defensively, yes, they were suspect. And you buy Frimpong. I've often said this. I hate it when a winger is converted to a fullback.
Doesn't
He,
Frimpong strike you as a Trent light, something like that?
he's not even a. At least Trent was a defender. That's what he was. Frimpong is clearly a winger. Clearly. And so his potency will most likely be up front, which is what you saw yesterday with him scoring the goal. Whether you call it a fluke goal or not, with him scoring the goal, his potency is always going to be up front, beating other markers and crossing the ball into the 18-yard box. I'm not sure, even physically, he can be bullied because he's a tiny specimen of a guy. Even physically, he can be bullied in that defensive position. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It just reminds me of when Thierry Henry was playing fullback in Juventus. You
That
knew there
seems
was something wrong.
that seems like such a long time ago. Even I don't remember don't remember it like that.
Yeah, some of
Goodness
us are old
gracious.
school. Don't ask our ages, we'll be all right. All right.
Lips are sealed. On that note, on to the next story. So talking about transfers here and there, let's talk about Man United, where their new striker Benjamin Sesko has all the attributes needed to help bolster the attack, according to manager Ruben Amorim. As he said, he hopes to unlock the 22-year-old Slovenian's full potential after his big money move to Old Trafford.
Yeah, but that's what you say when you spend big money on what people are considering a potential, not a finished product. You have to add some story behind it. You have to now sell us the product you have spent this money on. Because the idea for Manchester United was to get an improvement on Højlund.
Mm,
Højlund we're here maybe moving to AC Milan, so we're
on
waiting to
loan,
see
yeah.
if that deal happens. AC Milan wants a loan with option to buy. Manchester United wants something more permanent. That means they're done with him. Like they're really done with him because they're
Cutting their
looking for a
losses so
permanent.
soon.
Yeah, they are looking for a permanent move for him. But if you're taking out Hoyland, the idea was to bring a replacement that would guarantee you goals. And so when you bring a guy like Sesko, I'm not saying he was all the rave last season, and people were talking about him. Arsenal wooed him. A couple of other clubs wooed him a little bit. So he is not like there's nothing there, but it's largely potential, not a finished product. So if you're selling a player, you want to be getting an upgrade, not a maybe.
Yeah.
And right now, he seems like a maybe. And now Amorim is trying to sell us a maybe as a finished product. But I'm not one of those that will not give him an opportunity. He's just coming to the league. Let's see what he can do before we start to criticize him. So, and especially because of all the noise that happened with him in the transfer market, I think he'll also come into the team trying to prove a point. So, that at least that'll be good for Manchester United. His work rate will be up. But let's not completely write him off yet. Let's wait
Mm.
to see what he can deliver.
All right, let's wait to see what he can deliver. All right, let's quickly switch gears to Spain, where reigning Spanish champions Barcelona completed their preseason preparations by thrashing Italian side Como 5-0 on Sunday in a game which signaled a thawing of relations with goalkeeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen.
Okay, so we spoke about the Sagan on Friday,
Yeah.
and we were talking about how he put the club in a tricky position because he refused to release his medical records for them to take to La Liga so that they can register a player, and then he went to post on social media that he's going to be only out for 3 months, knowing that the club requires him to be out for 4 months in order to register some of their new signings. So there was that. They stripped him of the captain's armband. Next thing I saw was a letter. Nunca something something. I was like, why are we speaking Spanish this early? This this early hot morning. Turns out he had decided, or he had agreed, or that's the story we're hearing now, that he finally agreed that they will share his medical records with La Liga. He came out to say it was a misunderstanding. He'd never put the club in any situation. He assumed that all the
Mm-hmm.
players were in story. All the players were registered. Excuse me, before his operation, and then so that one thing led to another. Bottom line is that he's been reinstated for now. But by releasing his medical records, he ensured that the club was able to, to make their case for registering some new players. So let's see how it pans out for them. Because sometimes you don't you don't fight a person, you look for a way to let the person go.
Right, right,
So
right, right.
so maybe that's what Barcelona is doing. They're like, we have no choice. He has a contract. So let's make up, and then at the first opportunity we have to trade him, he's gone. So let's see how it works out eventually. But what it means is that he's settled with the club, and to they found a way to make it work. But Barcelona as a team doing good so far. Again, defensively is where their questions are going to be asked, and I don't think Como asked those questions, but I think tougher oppositions will ask those questions, and so we need to see how they answer them this season, because it was
Mm.
defensively that cost them the Champions League final.
Yes, indeed. All right, looking like it's going to be a brilliant season. Let's talk about Chelsea very quickly, Tega, before we wrap things up. They want to start the new season with a spring in their step after winning the inaugural Club World Cup last month and bolstering their already huge squad with another string of new young players.
Exactly. They brought in a few excitable new young players. Maresca seems to be doing all the right things well. Won the Club World Cup, and then you have to add to the fact that they beat AC Milan over the weekend 4-1. Now, AC Milan is not, well, in the scheme of things. they're, they're still, what they have is more history than current form.
Mm.
However, and to make matters worse, they got a red card in the friendly. Who gets a red card in the friendly?
Clearly, they do.
So when you think about that, but what it is that Chelsea is beating all the teams in front of them, and
Yeah,
at the end of the day, that's all you need to do to win. So they look excitable,
precisely.
they look good, and so at this point in time, I don't think there's anybody that can categorically beat their chest and say definitely Liverpool is defending their title, or definitely Manchester City is coming back, or Arsenal is winning, or Chelsea is winning it. This is one of the most open and preseason I have seen. You can't say for sure that there's one team that has an advantage. Because remember, Manchester City also has changed their team, and especially their midfield. They'd be without Kevin De Bruyne. So, and,
Exactly.
and, and without Rodri for the start of the season till September, I think, because he picked up an injury. So, again, you can't categorically say that they'll be the team to beat. At this point in time, it's pretty open. So if everybody has a shouting choice, especially the current club FIFA Club World Cup champions. So I guess that's what they're going to try to do, at least at the start of the season.
Mm. Yes, indeed. All right, thank you for that, Tega. Let's take the messages. A couple of them have come in already. Let me start with Stan. Stan says, "Try weekend we go sweet on Friday. You go no. This season Premier League go sweet for light. Liverpool, how far now? Well, we've seen how far Salah doing the business there or not." And then he says, "Tega is wicked. How did Salah shots get here? Get here? Well, if you
Get to
remember,
my head.
If you remember David Beckham's penalty as well. So,
it was in the orbit, just somewhere hanging around
You
with
understand?
Mars.
Tayona just says the man from Ikiti is giving Nicholas Jackson vibes, skill over scoring. It's like Glasner has top team password. Slot has tweaked the team. Let's see how he'll do a title defense. Ayo, Man United won community via goalie proxy. Onana will revive his career this season. I beg. Salah and Izzy as captain just wiped that ball to outer space when you're not an astronaut. Well, I mean, you can always dream, can't you? Cruz says, Alcaraz sees all those YouTube shorts about Roger, Monfils, and co. and decides, I gotta add mine too. I mean, who doesn't want to be in there?
That must be it.
Who doesn't want to be in there? AY from Manuru says, Lamine Yamal was sensational last night. What a performance. The new number 10 is already cooking ahead of the incoming football season. I dread to think what that boy is going to do this season, Tega. I really dread to think what he's going to do this season. It's crazy. Anyways, off to YouTube where Ibrahim Hassan says, Tega, greet me properly. After all the slating, now we can start the season in style. Calm down. And then, it says, Tega, you just can't help but slate Arsenal. What's your problem, Sha? Well, I mean, it is what it is. El Robert says, please speak about how Chelsea beat AC Milan and how our strikers are bagging goals. I know if Chelsea lost, Tega would have found some proverb to describe the loss.
Thank God I spoke about them because El Cadrego has been waiting for me with Kane.
Still. Ibrahim Hassan says, are you ready for the season opener? And I am not. It's not Arsenal at Old Trafford. They'll be coming now. What's that? Padre Pius says, but should Salah perform this season as he always has, he'd be more, not less wanted, and that Saudi money could be more. Well, he has to perform. That's the thing.
That's the important thing, yeah.
It seems Salah has dropped some form since he signed that contract. Just check since toward the end of the season.
With Van Dijk, season, yeah.
With Van Dijk too, both have been below par since they signed contracts. Interesting stuff.
So they have made their money now. It's time to be comfortable. But let's see how it works out for everybody. The season starts next weekend. Have you got your FPL ready? Ayo, where did you finish last season?
I think top 20,000 or thereabouts. Yeah. Or something.
Okay.
I can't remember. Okay. But I did well.
Okay, if he sees anyone marking your own scripts. All right, on that note, I want to thank you for sending me your messages via WhatsApp. Thank you for streaming on YouTube, and thank you for tuning in to Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to The Locker Room. Till we come your way again on Wednesday, have a fantastic week.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Tega. Have a fantastic week. Looking forward to Wednesday as well. Lagos, Nigeria, the entire world. Thank you for being a part of The Locker Room here on Smooth 98.1. The fun definitely continues as we work towards 9 o'clock and a conversation on Lagos Talks.